Hey, welcome to another JBoz Gaming video. This is your host JBoz, and today in this video we're going to look at the customization subscreens of the main garage. And this will pertain to a specific tank that you select, highlight, and then select off the carousel. So let's jump into the World War II main garage and we'll talk about the customization screens. As I jump in here, I've already filtered my carousel down to one tank, and it's highlighted. And when it's highlighted, you can either press the X button to go into the customization screens. There are several customization screens. The first is loadout. That is broken down by different categories such as modules, equipment, consumables, and ammo. We'll go through these in a minute. There's also the upgrades screen. There's the commander screen, and this is just for the it brings up the commander's sub screen, but it brings up the specific commander that you have in that tank if you have a commander in that tank. Then it also has a subscreen called appearance, armor viewer, and module viewer. You navigate these by the left and right bumper, similar to the main garage. Also, on the left here, or I'm sorry, on the right, will be, again, just a quick overview of some of your tank stats. But this is where we get even into more depth and detail around what our tank currently has and how we can improve it. As we go through here, on this first loadout screen, there's different modules, and you can use your left joystick to select these different modules. When you have a module selected, you can hit the A button, and that will bring up the available modules that you can select for your tank. Anything that's highlighted in a background of green is the current one that is selected. If it has a lock in it, that means that you have not unlocked that particular module. And this would be typically upgrades that that module has. So we'll get to the upgrade screen in just a second, but this tank has 3 guns, and 2 of them are not researched yet, and so that's why they have the little lock there. In order to get back up to the modules, you can either hit the up arrow or just hit B when you're down here in the modules. I tend to hit the up on the left joystick, and that will take me to the modules again. And again, once I am in a particular module, I can drive into it. If you hit B, it kind of takes you out of the modules back to this little loadout screen. But you can at any point, obviously, look through your modules, see what your tank has, and so on. We're not going to break down what each module is, but for now, just know that there's different modules for different tanks, right? Some will have maybe the same ones, but some tanks might have different modules. Okay, moving on, there's the equipment fields. When you select a equipment slot, there are 4 pieces of equipment that you can equip onto your tank in World of Tanks Modern Armor for the console. And usually the 4th slot is already defaulted to the enhanced target info. What this piece of equipment does is allows you to see the outline of the target, and also shows you your penetration chance via your targeting cursor. So when you're hovering over a tank in the battle HUD, you can see that it's red, and that, or depending on the color of your enemy, but bottom line is it will outline that enemy that you're hovering the targeting cursor over. It will also show you your targeting cursor. It would be potentially red, yellow, or some other color. And usually when it's red, that's when you have a good chance to pin that particular spot on that tank. And so that's why the targeting cursor is usually something that you do not want to take off if you're very new to the game, because it really helps you understand that you're about to shoot, what you're about to shoot, and how successful you can be at it. So I would encourage you to leave that on, at least for now. and then that would mean that you have 3 open slots to pick different equipment. Now, I'm not going to go through each of these pieces of equipment today. That will be a separate video that I do as a part of the training series, and so be looking for that pretty quickly after this video hits the YouTube channel. So this is where you select your different pieces of equipment. There are a total of 12 pieces of equipment that you can select from. You can only have one a piece of equipment in a slot, so you can't pick 2 pieces of, like you can't double down and say have 2 optics. You can only have 1 optics selected. So that's your equipment. So we'll hop back out of here. We'll talk about consumables real quick. This is where you obviously add consumables to your tank. You have 3 slots. There are a total of 8 different consumables, and the consumables we'll cover in another quick video after this one. So we'll go into the in-depth about consumables for you. But right now we're just trying to share where all this information actually is held within the navigation menus of World of Tanks. The last option here under loadout is your ammo. And going in here, you can actually get down and select different types of ammo. We also will do a separate video on this screen explaining what's going on here, maybe give you some tips and tricks on ammo specifically. But that will be another video that we do after this training video drops. So okay, so that's the loadout screen. So you can obviously pick your modules, you can pick your equipment, you can pick your consumables, and you can pick your ammo for that tank. If we tab over or use the right bumper, we're going to go to upgrades now. In this screen, this shows you the upgrades that this tank has available to it. And if all of these were green, have a green background, that would mean that they've been already upgraded. As you can see, the tank that I've specifically picked today to kind of take a closer look at is the 14 TP. What it tells you is up here how close you are to the next upgrade. So to the next upgrade, we need 380 experience. Now, this is earned via you being in battle and earning experience on your tank, or you can actually use free experience, which we've talked about in previous videos, which is kind of located up here. You can use free experience to research this particular module. If you want to accelerate your research and just not worry about earning tank experience and just use free experience, you could do that by going and hitting the A button here as you have your module selected. And what that will do is spend 380 of your free experience. If you don't have that, then it will say that it'll come up with a window that says that you don't have free experience, or it may not even give you the option to hit the A button to upgrade automatically. In this case, I'm going to hit the B button. I'm going to cancel back out of this. But in kind of quick succession, you could quickly upgrade your tank if you had a lot of free experience. Like right now, I could go all the way over and just elite this tank by spending 24,685 free experience. But the best way to get experience or to get these upgrades is to go into battle with this tank and fight your way up to where you're spending your tank experience. As you fight, you gain tank experience, and tank experience, once you've earned that, will open these upgrades. Once these upgrades are opened, then you have to purchase them. So it's not just automatic that you get them. Once you have researched each upgrade, you will then need to use silver to purchase each upgrade. And that's true even if spending free experience, you would still need to purchase each one of the upgrades. All right. So at the end of each kind of tank is the ability to have elite status on that tank. And all this does is gives you the ability then to exchange your tank experience for free experience. And you do this by converting it in the store. And we'll go over the store in a separate video. But there's an option to convert your tank XP to free XP. You can do that, but it costs gold to do that. And depending on what specials Wargaming's running, it will cost a certain amount of gold per conversion to the free XP. So we'll go over that in the store, but in general, you can eventually convert your tank XP to free XP using actual gold, and we'll cover that in the store video. All right, so this is the modules upgrade subscreen. You can compare modules from a previous one to an existing one. So let's say I want to compare this module. I can look at the current gun on this tank and I can see the difference. The problem is with this particular gun, I can't equip this even yet because I would need to upgrade a turret module. So there's no way currently to see what the current gun is on the tank versus this next gun, because in order to do that, I have to have a better turret to load this gun. And that's why I can't particularly see this tank module. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out here real quick. I'm going to go to the main garage. I'm going to turn off my filters. And I'm going to just pick a different tank so we can take a quick look at tanks that may have been upgraded. So let's go in. Let's pick this one. Let's go to our upgrades. Now notice, as I said before, if it's got a kind of green background, then you can see that this tank has been fully upgraded. And because I have two guns on this tank, I can do the compare module, and so you can see that actually this tank only has one gun. So this was a bad example, but let me try to find a tank that actually has another gun. Let's do a little bit higher tiered tank. That'll probably give us some options. Let's do the yeah, let's try. I don't know if this one will. I don't think this one probably. We'll see. Nope, it's considered a premium tank, so that's a bad one to pick. Sorry guys, let's do the needle. Alright, let's go to upgrades. Oh, daggone it. I'm just doing a terrible job picking tanks. You know what? Let's do... Oh, that's fine. Let's do the cruiser. Does the cruiser have multiple guns? It does. Okay. So let's go back to upgrades. So here, this particular tank does have multiple guns, and we should be able now to compare the guns from one to the other. So here, if we pick this gun, we can see from the previous gun that this gun has better rate of fire because of the up green arrow. We can see that it has lower accuracy at 100 meters. It has the same hit point damage. It has lower penetration. It has lower penetration actually both at 100 meters and 500 meters. It has the same ammo types available, and it also has more ammo capacity. So you can compare guns and see which gun you would prefer to use on any particular tank. And that's very helpful when you're trying to look at the modules that you actually want to purchase or research. You do not have to buy every module. You do have to research every module because it's serial, meaning that you have to do it in order. You have to research it in order to get the next best or the next module. It may not be best, but it's the next one. To buy them, you only have to buy the ones that you want to use. So you can save a little bit of silver in that regard. Typically, though, you're going to end up wanting that module right away because it generally is better as you progress up the upgrades. And so typically you're going to want to research the upgrade and then also purchase it. Okay. So let's step back out of this particular screen on the loadout. And let's talk about the commander screen. The commander screen, if you do not have a commander in the tank, then it'll just take you to the Commander subscreen where you can select a tank. This one I actually have a commander assigned to this tank, and so what it does is it takes you to the commander subscreens, but it automatically brings up the commander that is already in this tank. And so you can see this. We've covered commanders in a separate video, so I won't go through this screen, but you get the gist. This is the commander that is in this tank. Moving on, the next subscreen is all of your kind of, I guess what special things that you can do to your tank. These things generally don't improve the performance of your tank other than camouflage. Camouflage, when you put camouflage on your tank, it does improve your concealment by a little bit. It's not a lot, but it still is a benefit to your tank to have camouflage. And you can buy camouflage for each season: winter, summer, or terrain, desert, or urban. And you can also put emblems on your tank, and each side, both left and right, you can put emblems. You can put a inscription on your tank, and then you can also add a potential flag on your tank. So all of this has various options, but if we kind of click in, sometimes you will get free camouflage, and if you have free vouchers, then you can use those, or you can purchase a camouflage permanently or for a certain period of time, let's say 30 days. All of this is going to cost either gold or silver, depending on what specifically you're purchasing. So just know that you can put camouflage on. Also note that as soon as you buy one of these 4 boxes, whether it's an environment or it's a season, once you have camouflage on your tank, you will always get the bonus for camouflage. So if you don't want to, you want to get the bonus for having camouflage, but you don't necessarily care whether you have camouflage in the desert or maybe in the winter or summer, whatever it is. You only have to buy camouflage or put camouflage on one of these slots to get the bonus. Once you do that, you don't have to have camouflage for each environment or each situation that you'll be in. You'll always have that bonus for the camouflage. So just a tip there. You do not have to purchase all 4 to ensure that you always have that camouflage bonus, because once you purchase one of these, you will always have that camouflage bonus. Okay. Coming back out of the appearance, we're going to move on to Armor Viewer. And in this screen, it just shows where our armor is located on the tank and to what thickness it has. So right now, when you come into this screen, it is defaulted to overall. So it's showing all the places where the armor is on your tank. What I like to do is I immediately use the joystick and I go to the highest armor first, so I can see where is the thickest armor on this tank. It looks like the tank is pretty much uniform 14 millimeter thickness, and so yeah, the upper portion, the actual tank itself, is 14 millimeters. The tracks are 10, and then the underbelly of the tank is 6 millimeters. So this is not a real good example, but typically you would have thicker armor in front, less thick on the sides, and then even less thick in the rear. Is generally how armor works in World of Tanks. However, there are unique tanks that have different armor thicknesses, and that's not always true. But it is nice to know where you might be more protected than not. The reason this is also good to know is as you learn the different tanks, then you now are beginning to learn where to shoot certain tanks and try to hit where their armor is weakest. Obviously, if you can get behind a tank, then you have much better odds of pinning their armor than you do trying to attack them from the front. So just know that we will do another video specifically talking about armor, not just direct armor, and that's all this shows you. It does not change as you rotate the tank at all. This screen does not show you what's called effective armor. And effective armor is where that armor rating, that thickness, changes based on the angle that shell is coming at your tank to penetrate that armor. We'll talk more about this, and we'll talk more about a website that gives you or lets you see effective armor when you rotate the tank. And we'll do a separate video to help you better understand that. But here is how you can generally come in and just generally understand what your direct armor thickness is and where you're better protected and less protected. All right, moving on, there's the module viewer. And this screen is meant to show you basically where those modules are located. When you first come in here, it's defaulted to the overall, and that means nothing because you really can't distinguish where the different modules are on your tank. But let's say we want to know where our engine is. So if we select our engine module, now we can see that this engine on this tank is located back in the aft part or the back part of the tank. So generally, if someone shoots you either in the lower backside of the backward part of your side or the back part of your tank, they would have a better chance of damaging your engine. And so knowing where your modules are helps you protect modules that you really don't want to have hit. For example, ammo. If you get hit in your ammo, you can be ammo racked. And what that means is it takes longer to reload your gun when you're ammo racked. I think it's double the time it takes to actually reload. So it is not a good thing to be ammo racked because you can't fire as fast. And so just knowing where your ammo is will help you, position your tank so that if you can't fit your tank all behind a particular building or protection spot, at least you can put your module that you're trying to protect behind that spot, hopefully. And the same with your different crew. Obviously, you can see where your crew is located within your tank, your radio, where it's located in your tank, and then, of course, these larger pieces like your turret and like your gun, and so on. Those are pretty obvious modules, but this is what this screen is for, and it can be quite helpful. The other thing is, when you're in overview, over here to the right, there's another window that appears, and it gives you a lot of good information about your tank. Well, I want to call your attention to generally the last sentence of what appears over here. I do encourage you to learn about the tanks and the history of the tanks, which is pretty cool and neat that they do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop out of here real quick. I'm going to pick a tank that is a premium tank just so we can kind of see what more information might appear in this module viewer. When we go in and now we look at the module viewer, there's generally always at the end of this some additional information that's very, very helpful. This information, for example, this particular tank says this premium vehicle has 30% to bonus XP earn and a 25% bonus to silver earn. And what it means by bonus XP, it means tank XP. It doesn't mean crew XP. It doesn't mean free XP. This means it is a 30% bonus to tank XP, and it also gets a 25% bonus to silver XP. So you can earn additional XP in the tank because it is a premium, and you will earn extra silver because it's premium. Also, just to note, though it doesn't say it here, all premium vehicles, all premium tanks earn an extra 5% free XP. So, unlike the stock or regular tech tree tanks, they do not earn that 5%. So this is the way you can earn free XP as you fight in battles, is if you're running premium tanks, you will tend to see your free XP grow over time because you're getting that 5% bonus to free XP. You don't have to convert that. That's something that's earned, and it only comes from premium vehicles. Now, premium vehicles you generally have to pay for, or in special events like seasons or certain ops, you can earn premium vehicles. So it's always good if you can to get you a good premium vehicle that you like to play, and know that's an easy way to earn, or it's the one of the best ways to earn free XP. All right. So this is the module viewer for the tank loadout. So that's, for the most part, the customization screens. Now, I still owe you some explanation about equipment. I still owe you explanation about consumables and ammo. So we'll do another video on each one of those to give you some more information. on those. But this is where uh, these items are located on your tank, where you can change them, where you can buy and change them out. So just these screens are the navigation for the customization of your tank. In order to get out of this screen, all you have to do is hit the B button to go back to the main garage. And then if you, for some reason, want to sell this tank, you can hit the X button. It'll bring up a confirmation window screen, and what this will tell you is how much silver they're going to give you if you sell this tank. And then to actually sell the tank, you have to hold the A button, and there will be a progress bar, I believe, that goes across this button. And once it's there, you will have sold the tank. Now, selling the tank does not mean that if you want to get this tank back, you have to research it again. You do not. Once you research a tank, it's always open to you. Once you research an upgrade, it's always open to you. What you will have to do if you sell this tank is you will have to rebuy the tank and potentially upgrades for that tank. So just know that you don't lose research, but you do lose silver by selling tanks, because they only give you half of the price of what you paid for that tank when you sell it back. So just know, if you don't play a tank, it's okay. You can sell it back, and especially if you want to free up a garage slot. That, garage slots you typically cost gold, and so it's a nice way to get a garage slot. If you want to get a different tank, you can sell a tank that you already own and free up a garage slot. But that is the customization screens. If I've missed something, or you want to see me address something else around customization screens, please put a comment on the video. If this was helpful, let's go ahead and hit that like button. And I would ask that you hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel grow, helps people find me. So I appreciate your attention today, and hopefully this was helpful. We'll see you in the next video.